Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. I just wanted to do this quick video for you guys because I received a comment from a gentleman with regards to taxation, and he's right. And kind of inspired me to do this video. And but real quickly, for those of you who are wanting to know how to become an SPC, first of all, I gotta apologize because my videos have been all over the place. I understand that. My next one, however, I'm actually gonna do a nice, short, concise, step-by-step video on how to go about doing it, either with UCL or on your own. Okay, so just heads up on that. It's coming right after this one. But first of all, let me just talk about this taxation issue, because I've also received emails from people with regards to paying taxes and stuff. So this is actually coming from the UCC Connection, which is a book that I recommended. The link to the video is on the description down below. Make sure you get a copy of it. It's very thin, super thin, and but it's got a lot of awesome information that you guys are gonna find so valuable. And with that being the case, let me just go ahead and start reading because I don't really have much time right now. Anyway, so yeah, this is from the UCC Connection, the introduction part of the book. So here goes. So when I beat the IRS, I used Supreme Court decisions. If I had tried to use these in court, I would have been convicted. I was involved with a patriot group and I studied Supreme Court cases. I concluded that the Supreme Court had declared that I was not a person required to file an income tax, that the tax was an excise tax on privileges. Here we go again, privileges granted by government. So I quit filing and paying income taxes, and it was not long before they came down on me with a heavy hand. Obviously, they issued a notice of deficiency which had such a fantastic sum on it that the biggest temptation was to go in with their letter and say, "Where in the world did you ever get that figure?" They claimed I owed them $60,000, but even if I had been paying taxes, I never had that much money to begin with, so how could I have owed them that much? And then he makes a point here, never argue the amount of deficiency. Fortunately, I had been given just a little bit of information. Never argue the facts in a tax case. If you're not required to file, what do you care whether they say you owe $60 or 60,000? If you are not required to file, the amount doesn't matter. Don't argue the amount. That is a fact issue. In most instances, when you get a notice of deficiency, it is usually for some fantastic amount. The IRS wants you to run in and argue about the amount. The minute you say I don't owe that much, you have agreed that you owe them something and you have given them jurisdiction. Boom, that's a big statement right here. And you have given them jurisdiction. And I'll go over what this means at a later time. Anyway, just don't be shocked at the amount on a notice of deficiency, even if it is $10 million. If the law says that you are not required to file or pay taxes, the amount doesn't matter. By arguing the amount, they would just say that you must go to tax court and decide what the amount is to be. By the time you get to tax court, the law issues are all decided. You are only there to decide how much you owe. They will not listen to arguments of law. So I went to see the agent and told him that I wasn't required to file. He said, "You are required to file, Mr. Freeman." But I had all these Supreme Court cases and I started reading them to him. He said, "I don't know anything about the law, Mr. Freeman, but the code says that you are required to file and you're going to pay that amount or you're going to go to tax court." I thought that someone there ought to know something about law, so I asked to talk to a superior. I went to him and got out my Supreme Court cases and he wouldn't listen to them. "I don't know anything about law, Mr. Freeman." Finally, I got to the problems resolution officer and he said the same thing. He said that the only person above him was the district director. So I went to see him. By the time I got to his office, they had phoned ahead and his secretary said he was out. But I heard someone in his office and I knew he was in there. I went down the elevator around the corner to the federal building and into Senator Simpson's office. There was a girl sitting there at a desk and she asked if she could help me. I told her my problem. I said that I really thought that the district director was up there. I asked her to call the IRS and tell them that it was the Senator Simpson's office calling and to ask if the district director was in. I said, "If you get him on the phone, tell him that you are from the senator's office and you have a person whom you are sending over to speak to him. If he is, can you wait just 5 minutes?" His secretary met me when I came in and said, "Mr. Freeman, you're so lucky the director just arrived." The director was very nice and offered me coffee and cookies and sat and we talked. So he asked me what I wanted to talk to him about. If you ever have someone say to you, I'm from the government, I'm here to do you a favor, watch out. But we can turn that around and approach them the same way. So I said, I thought you ought to know that there are agents working for you who are writing letters over your name that you wouldn't agree with. Do you read all the mail that goes out of this office over your signature? The director said, Oh, I couldn't read everything. It goes out of here by the bagful. That's what I thought. I said, there are some of your agents writing letters which contradict the decisions of the Supreme Court of the United States. Oh, and they're not doing it over their name, they're doing it over your name. He was very interested to hear about it and asked if I had any examples. I just happened to have some with me, so I got them out and presented them to him. He thought it was very interesting and asked if I could leave this information with him, which I did. He said he would look at it over and contact me in 3 days. 3 days later, he called me up and said, I'm sure, Mr. Freeman, that you will be glad to know that your notice of deficiency has been withdrawn. We've determined that you're not a person required to file. Your file is closed and you will hear no more from us. And I haven't heard another word from them since. That was in 1980, and I haven't filed taxes since 1969. Oh, so there it is, guys. Obviously, there's a lot more to talk about this. When it comes to stuff like this, tax debt, notice of deficiencies. But I mean, I just wanted you guys to know that this information is out there. You just have to do your own research, and I'm gonna do my best to provide that information to you guys. So with that being said, thank you guys very much. Again, go ahead and buy this book. It's only $5 on Amazon. $5. I mean, come on. It's like what, a coffee at McDonald's or something like that. I don't even know. But anyway, guys, thank you very much. Hope you guys have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.
That's why